superheroes. This is Miss Rachel coming to you this morning to share some ideas with you about how to use our gospel project posters and maps. So I just want to go over some little details first about how we put up our posters. It's really important that we kind of put them at eye level for our students, because you're going to be referring back to them. And I know these pictures are not real large, but yet if you've covered the lesson and just use a pointer to go over these pictures each month, it really helps. Now, I know we've just finished the book of Genesis, and last Sunday we started in Exodus. I try to always go back each week and review the lesson that we've just taught, especially try to cover each book. So we go back, and you'll be amazed at how much, if you do that much reviewing, how much the kids really remember. You might ask one or two questions related to each of the pictures, and they can usually tell you that because they listen really well. And just the review, you know, repetition is good for the kids. So I tried to do at least a book, like these first three posters would cover Genesis. And then we started with God delivers his people going into Exodus. And then, so eye level is important. And then, well, how do we put them up? I know you've probably all heard about this tape called Marvelous Tape, which is very expensive, by the way. But it doesn't take near as much of this tape as the blue painter's tape. So if you just tear off a little strip about like this and just curl it around, that's the size, and put it on each of the four corners, and it really will stay up. I've just never had mine to fall down. Now, early on when I used that blue painter's tape, a few years ago when we first started Gospel Project, blue painter tape did not hold up. So I used the Marvelous Tape. I know it's great. Teachers use it a lot in the public schools. So that Marvelous Tape, and it's in the resource room. So if you don't have any in your cabinets, be sure and look in the resource room. So like I said, that's a way, eye level and the tape, and then just referring to them. Now, as the year goes on, this whole wall will be covered, and then I come back and start my second row along here. Actually, I ended up with starting a third row, which was down fairly low here, but still yet the kids could see it, because I think it covers about 3 years to get through all of it. But you can just lightly refer back, oh yeah, remember we talked about creation and how God entered the world, sin entered the world through Adam and Eve, and just go on down, even say, oh, here we are in the Judges, and talk about that, and then just briefly refer them, and it's just great sequence for the kids to really understand what's happening in the Bible. Okay, then the next thing I want to talk about is our maps. Now, in your Gospel Project, the posters that Lance ordered for us, there are 4 maps. And there are 2 for Old Testament and 2 for New Testament. And in your teacher's guide, under the love section, it will tell you exactly, like it may say D6 is where you would find the location that you're talking about in that lesson. So under love section in your teacher's guide, it always tells you where to point to use the map. The reason we put, the 4th grader teachers helped me get them up, or they put them up, because I said, girls, I can't get up that high. So they've put them up for me. So if they're up high, but you see how big this map is and the pictures on it, so they will still be able to see better the maps than they do the posters. So that's why we've put them up higher, and then they can point to them with your pointer. Oh, let me say about the pointer. I'm a public school teacher for 25 years, so I've always used my little pointer. It's just a part of Miss Rachel. But in your rooms, I know I've been in all your rooms, so you should have a 12-inch ruler in each of your rooms. So a 12-inch ruler would work great to use as your pointer. So feel free to pull that ruler out and use it as your pointer. So The maps are, like I said, under the love section. And I forgot to say, in your teacher's guide, there is a section that you start off with. It's called Welcome. And I think it's kind of like the last one. It will tell you how to use the timeline poster. It'll give you things to even say, how to say it, to refer back to these posters about what you've covered. So that's a good section to look at too. So I hope this little video has been helpful to you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or Lance. I'm not the perfect teacher. I have seen some of you guys, you really are superheroes. You're doing a fantastic job teaching and touching the lives of these children. And I say thank you. I love to see teachers that have a passion for children and teaching them about God's Word. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you and love you guys.